Okay, everybody, welcome to Coach's Monday press conference. As a reminder, please announce yourself when you ask a question, and if you can, turn on your video. And with that, I'll open it up to Coach.
Okay, good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. We're working on the New York Giants right now, and pleased with the victory yesterday. We know we have a big challenge in front of us as far as what we need to accomplish to have a chance to pursue our goals, and that's what we're focused on right now. What questions do you have?
Hey, John, this is Jameson. For you guys to get into the playoffs, one scenario is that you're going to need some help elsewhere. One scenario is that that can help you guys is if you win out and the Steelers either win one of their last two games, you guys are in. I think some people are wondering whether you guys are now would you be Steeler fans for at least the next couple of weeks?
Oh, of course. I mean, we want to get in the playoffs, so we know that we need some help, but the focus really for us is going to be on taking care of our business. It doesn't matter what anybody else does if we don't take care of our job, and our job is to win. So we've got to find a way to win this week. That's 100% exactly what we'll be locked in on and focused on, and everything else is not something we can control, but we can control how we play. We need to play our best football next week to win that game.
Hey, John, this is Bo Smolka calling. I have a two-part question for you. One is, after a few weeks now, I'd like to know your assessment of Patrick McCary at center. And also in a bigger picture, we don't really get a chance to talk to Joe D. And he had a deal this year with Ronnie Stanley going out, moving Orlando Brown, changing at center, bringing Ben Powers along. How would you assess the job Joe D has done with getting that unit going where they are?
Yeah, he's done a great job. Joe D is a tremendous coach, and he's also had some personal things he's had to deal with, which he's done a great job with. But the players love him. He's a hard worker, obviously, very experienced coach. I think he understands, just the idea of focusing on what's important, and not spending time on things that are more periphery. He focused on the things that make a difference, and I know the guys appreciate that. Those guys have done a good job as well. But no, we can get Joe D to you, Bo. That's something that we can do for sure. If you guys would like to talk to him, I'm sure he'd be excited about that. He's pretty much a big media guy, so he'd probably be thrilled to spend time talking to the media. But no, he does a good job of that too. So.
And what about Patrick McCary so far at center?
Yeah, I think Patrick's done really well. He's done really well. I'm sure there's plays here and there he'd like to have back, but he's graded out really highly. He's very steady. He's made a lot of good blocks, and we're very happy with Patrick.
Hey, John, this is Childs at the Sun. I know you've talked about how proud you are of Chris Board. Where do you think he's improved the most to sort of demand to be on the field as much as he's been as a linebacker?
Well, he just plays the position better, Childs. He's learned it. He wasn't really an inside backer in college. He was more of a kind of a strong safety slot type of a player. That's what we saw him do, but we projected him as an inside backer. So there's been some training that's been done. I think Mike McDonald's done a great job with him. Of course, on special teams, he's got a chance to get in the Pro Bowl. So he's done a great job across the board. I think he just likes to play, works really hard. He's gotten better across the board as a linebacker.
Hey, Coach. Todd Carpenter from SI. Anthony Averett played every snap on defense yesterday. It was pretty impressive for a guy coming off IR. Just how key was it to get him back, and what kind of role can he have down the stretch?
Very key. I consider him a starter quality corner for sure. He gets better all the time. I think he's really important to him, to prove himself this year. He wants to make a name for himself and prove that he's one of those kind of guys. Has had the setbacks, obviously, with injury situation, but for him to come back out there, and to play the way he did was a big boost for us. We needed it. We were thin back there, and I thought he played very well. It's great that you pointed that out.
John, this is Jeff Zreback from The Athletic. We asked you we asked you last week about Mark Ingram only getting one carry. Yesterday he was not active. How difficult was that, and what does Mark's response to you say about kind of where he's at right now?
Right. Well, like I said before, Mark's a consummate professional, and he like anybody else, he wants to play, he wants to be out there. He's worked really hard to get his ankle right and to come back from the COVID-19 deal, and he looks strong in practice. He's done well with that, and he's continuing to improve with that. But he's healthy enough to play. There's no doubt about it. But I'd say just a series of circumstances have kind of led us to this place where the guys that are running the ball are really having a lot of success, and we've had some roster requirements, that we've had to try to get some other positions active. We've needed to do that, so that's kind of the way it fell. And in a lot of ways, for the team. It's a good situation because we have a chance to keep getting Mark healthier and stronger all the time, and we've got a lot of good backs. We've got a lot of top-notch backs that running offense that can contribute. So his time is coming. There's no doubt about that. That's just the way it works in the National Football League, and that's what he understands. We've talked about that, and I just know it's going to work out. But it's actually it's a very positive. It's a good problem to have for us as a team. But again, I know Mark wants to be out there and he wants to be carrying the rock. So, but he's been great about it.
This is Cliff Brown from Raiders Media. Coach, can you talk about the contributions you've gotten from your rookie class and how impressive that is, particularly in a year where they were challenged with missing no preseason and coming in the way they did and how well they played?
Right. Well, yeah, a lot of those guys have played. We felt like it was going to be a good class coming in. We really didn't know, to your point, Cliff, what the impact would be on their development with the new situation. But they've done great. They've been all in. They're just a bunch of guys that love ball, love football, and want to contribute. And they've forced their way in there. And, we needed them to do that. So, yeah, it's very impressive. They've made their share of rookie mistakes, and we get on them about it. But they're going strong. They're going strong as ever right now, and I'm really proud of those guys.
Hey, John, it's Luke Jones with WNST. We had kind of talked about Marquise Brown, his struggles a little bit earlier in the season, but has the big play in Cleveland, and then for him to play the way he did yesterday. For a young player, how important is it to be able to stack a couple good performances like that when you're coming off a period of time where you're not playing the way you want to?
No question. I mean, there's an element of that, where you start to build on it, and that's where that true confidence is kind of grows inside. Where you just do it, and you've been there, and you've done it, and you can do it again. Marquise certainly doesn't lack for confidence. He's got it, and he anticipates making those kind of plays. And I just think the story there really is more that when you keep working hard, and you keep showing up and doing your best. And maintain your high level of confidence, then eventually because he's a talented person or anybody, you're gonna break through and have success, and that's exactly what he's done, and he'll build on that for sure. So, but I think he's gotten through the adversity, and he knows that nothing's promised tomorrow or the next game or whatever. So he's got to bring his best every single week, and he's done a good job of that.
John, this is Jeff again. These rules this year are confusing to me, at least. I don't want to speak for everyone else, but is Chris Moore have to be a decision made on him this week, and how difficult is that going to be with just the roster flexibility and dealing with some injuries?
Right. Well, that'll be a roster situation. We've Chris has probably been healthy for a week or two, maybe enough. I think he's getting to be 100% now. You see him in practice. He's really starting to really pop a little bit. So I do believe we're at that point, and I'm hopeful we can get him up. I really want to get him up and get him out there on the field. So, yeah, it's a good question, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of days on that. So I've got my fingers crossed.
Hey, John, this is Bo again. There was a play yesterday where LJ Ford had what looked to be an interception return touchdown. There was a roughing the passer call on Jalen Ferguson. And I saw Ferguson come off the field, and you had a long chat with him. And I don't know if you want to share what you said to him specifically, but do you enjoy that part of the coaching when you get a young player like that in a situation like that? I mean, you lose the touchdown, but the idea of what's the kind of back and forth that goes on in that situation between you and that player?
Well, it's a good question. It's just teaching. I enjoy teaching, Bo. Yeah, thanks for asking that. And then there's no better teacher than experience, and Jalen's a great guy. He wants to do the right thing all the time. He's very conscientious, and I don't think he realized, just what that play looked like, and it was definitely a penalty. You know, it's definitely roughing the passer. And that's, I think he just felt like he was getting a block, you know, and just playing the game. And it's just a kind of a classic, youthful mistake, but very costly, you know, in the sense that it cost us a touchdown. I mean, poor LJ Ford, he's had 3 interceptions. You know, one of them I should have challenged if I'd like to do that one again. If we'd have got to look at it up top, we didn't. And should have just thrown the flag on that one, just taking the chance a couple weeks ago, and one other one there. So I just feel like I feel bad for LJ, but you know, in a close game, that's a game changer right there. So yeah, we just talked about that, and I think he felt like he was legal on it. Then I just kind of explained to him why it wasn't, and he'll go back and look at that and he'll learn from it. But it's a good conversation. That's what coaching is all about, Bo. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, John, this is Aaron Kasnitz at Penn Live. Speaking of coaching, Joe Judge, your counterpart this week, is one of the few other coaches who's gone from special teams coordinator to head coach. Do you notice any traits about, you know, the Giants because of that dynamic? And more specifically, did Joe Judge maybe reach out to you, or do you have any relationship with him because of that?
Yeah, I really don't know Coach Judge that well. We've met along the way here and there, but I have a lot of respect for him, you know, and obviously what he's done in New England and then what he's doing now. I don't know if it's really a special teams thing so much as a coaching thing. I think there's a lot of really good coaches coaching special teams. You know, he also had experience with the wide receivers. I had experience, you know, with the defensive backs, and we both had our college experiences. But, you know, I think there's a lot of really good coaches coaching special teams. I mean, you know, usually, a good coach and a good leader and someone that, you know, kind of gets the whole team dynamic over the years, volunteers to coach the punt team and the kickoff team and all those kind of things. You know, because, you know, maybe other guys don't want to do it. I don't know, but you know, I respect the guys that do that. Maybe that's because that's the path I took, and obviously Coach Judge took that path too. So those guys turn out to be pretty good head coaches. You know, it looks like. So I just wish more guys would get a shot. So Aaron, that's the article you can write. You can write that article that more of these guys deserve a look. You know, that'd be great because I really do believe that they do. But no, their team is physical. They're tough. That you can see that personality they're trying to define themselves as. It's very impressive watching them on tape.
Hey, John, this is Jameson again. I believe you guys have drawn now for 3 straight games a defensive pass interference. And I think for the first 12 weeks, you were the only team that had not gotten a penalty or gotten a team to get that a penalty on you. Is there an element of even instructing your players of getting in a position where if you're not making the catch that you can still get that contact to draw that penalty? Or is it just, you know, it depends on the officiating crew sometimes of whether you're going to get that call or not?
Well, it definitely depends on the officiating crew and how they see it. I mean, that's certainly a given. But what we teach our guys to do is try to make a play on the ball, you know, and that's really on both sides. You know, we teach our defensive players the same thing. You want to put a foot in the ground and you want to go up and you want to make a play on the ball. You know, that's what the rules are, you know, define you that you're supposed to do. And really that's what we want our guys to do. We're not trying to act. We're not, you know, a lot of teams, I know there are teams that teach that. They teach body language. They teach acting, flopping, whatever you want to call it. We don't teach that. We just teach playing football, you know, and if the officials see it, are looking for something, or looking for an acting job, then we're not going to get those calls. But that's not how we do it. We just try to play the game and let the officials do the officiating.
Hey, John, this is Daniel Oyefusi from the Baltimore Sun. Eric Tomlinson has gotten called up from the practice squad a few times in recent weeks. I think yesterday was the second practice squad elevation. Just what have you seen from him? And, you know, with this being his second call up, do you expect him to maybe earn a spot on the 53-man roster?
Yeah, definitely a possibility there. He's done a really good job. I mean, he's coming to learn the offense. Very smart guy, you know, very determined, really good blocker. So he fits what we're trying to do. He kind of filled the void there a little bit that Nick left. And I think he's done a really good job. You know, Pat's also filled part of that void. He's done more on the line, inline type, tight end type blocking roles too. So both those guys have done well. I think it showed up in the results in the run game, and we're real pleased with him. He's a guy that has helped us tremendously, and great guy, and we're glad to have him.
Hey, John, this is Jonas Schaefer with the Baltimore Sun. I know you did an interview before the season. Just you mentioned, I think, Sirius XM that, you know, you had talked to some communications professionals, some experts, just about how to coach during a period like this where you might not be seeing the guys as often and you're speaking through a mask. What has this season been like in terms for you, just, finding ways to be a better coach and communicate better in light of, having to change so much of what your normal day-to-day experience is like?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess the biggest thing, we talk about talking to the mask when this first happened, we made the determination, even when the rules didn't require it. We said that we were going to keep our masks on all the time. Now, we haven't, I'll admit we haven't been 100% with that. We've had our lapses here and there, but I think that's to be expected from a human perspective. But we've done our best with that, and we've coached through the mask, even on the field. You guys have seen us do that, who've been to practice. And in meetings, we coached with the mask on, which wasn't required early on, is now. But so the one thing I talked to the guys about was just the idea of projecting and enunciating. And I think it's been kind of good for us, coaches and players, to force us to project and enunciate to make ourselves clear. And when we speak, so it goes for the quarterbacks or defensive play callers and communication. It's kind of been good, Then the other thing is the value of the technology stuff like we're doing now. There really is some value to the Zoom or the virtual type meetings, because you do kind of sometimes in a group, you got a group in there, it's more of an audience. Here you kind of can have a little bit of a connection can happen, So yeah, we just try to take advantage of that as best we can, but we just kind of learn by experience more than anything, and everybody's got to deal with it. So we figure we're not at a disadvantage, so we try to do the best we can with it. But thanks for asking that.
Anything else for Coach?
What are you doing
All right.
for Christmas? A Christmas dinner? I hope.
Christmas dinner, yeah, right. We have set our schedule for Christmas. We're not allowed to have the players in Monday or Tuesday, which I might have done and try to give them Christmas off. But since we can't do that, we're going to have to work on Christmas. So we'll be working in the afternoon. We'll give everybody Christmas morning to be with their family. Then we'll have a kind of a shorter afternoon. We'll get in there, from about noon till about, we won't be in here at noon because we'll have virtual meetings. So we'll get in here from about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then we'll practice till about 5:30. Then we'll get them out. So coaches might be here a little longer than the players, but then we'll get them home for a later Christmas dinner, or, I don't think people will probably not have Christmas dinner in the morning, but they'll get Christmas breakfast and a later Christmas dinner, and everybody will be happy. So that's what we're planning on. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody else too. I'm sure we'll get a chance to say that too.
All right, Coach, we appreciate your time to the media. We will see you back here on Wednesday for availability. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.